Puerto Rico under criminal dictatorship after stolen elections. This is what we're seeing right now, people. This has gotten crazy, right? We're going to go through some details as to what has happened in the last month and a half. We'll start off by saying we still don't have electoral final numbers in Puerto Rico. We want to talk about how it was stolen. We're saying that it was stolen. There's reasons for that. I'm going to share with you why. But we're going to talk about why we're saying it was stolen, why we think it needs to be annulled, like the whole election needs to be annulled, and how Puerto Rico right now is under a criminal regime. Jennifer Gonzalez, Rivera Chats, and all these individuals that have stolen, using organizations from the inside and from the outside to make sure that the elections were rigged. We're going to come back in a minute, but I want you to feel and hear some of this first.
Documentos federales, el grupo Los 31 impartía instrucciones por quienes votar durante la época de elecciones. En caso de que los reos no siguieran esas instrucciones, eran sometidos a represalias que incluían la retención de la droga.
No participó ningún político que yo tenga conocimiento hasta este momento. Le informé que nunca permití ninguna reunión de personas electas o candidatos a posiciones políticas por la población correccional. Y hay que elevar lo que se está conversando en la mañana de hoy a la Comisión Estatal de Elecciones o cualquier otra entidad organización, sea el Departamento de Justicia o sea alguna otra agencia de gobierno, claro que lo vamos a hacer.
Según el Escobar, este grupo de los 31 es uno de los más pequeños y en su mayoría se ubican entre Aguadilla y Ponce. Las instituciones donde se dieron los arrestos fueron en Bayamón 501, Guayama Máxima, Las Cucharas y Guerrero. Tatiana Pérez Ramos, Noticentro.
Lo antes visto no forma parte de un libreto de Prison Break. En la realidad, aquí en Puerto Rico. Bueno, y las autoridades confirmaron que aún permanecen prófugos 6 miembros de los tiburones. Entre ellos, un hombre conocido en el bajo mundo como el Señor de los...
Well, I'm gonna run as quick. What they just said was this. There was a sting operation a couple of weeks ago in jails in Puerto Rico. They were bringing in drugs using drones. Apparently no one noticed. In all of the jails, they were bringing in drugs. They were bringing it, that's what Trump says. They were bringing in drugs. They were bringing in drugs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. So funny. All right, so they were bringing in drugs to the jails. We've known that is part of the historical of the jail systems, not just in Puerto Rico, but in the US and worldwide, right? Most of the countries, somehow these geniuses, literally, these people are very smart. These people are very smart. So these people have brought and have been bringing in all kinds of stuff, cell phones, drugs, you name it. Women, they were being brought in, women and men were being brought in. And no one noticed. No one noticed. The interesting part is that the last segment of that news, thank you, Noticentro, for that. That last segment is about 6 members of that gang are missing and no one knows where they are. This shit is almost funny. All right. So we're saying that the elections in Puerto Rico that were a month and a half ago, we still don't have the numbers, the final numbers. We don't know who won, right? Necessarily. There's still people fighting over 1 or 2 votes. On the island, 100 votes are very significant, but there's 10,000 people in jail and connected to either halfway houses, etc. Men and women, 10,000. These are not mentioning their families. So we're thinking anywhere between 20 and 30,000 people have been conspiring, forced, threatened to vote for the PNP party. What is the PNP party? The political party that wants statehood. That's the assimilation party. That's the statehood party. The Partido Nuevo Progresista. This is important. This is very important, people, because they're the ones who want to be part of the U.S., not people like myself, not people like Raul, this guy. I want independence for Puerto Rico. I think everyone deserves independence. I think the slavery thing is over. People need to be administering their own nations and doing their own thing with all the power. If you don't know, Puerto Rico is a colony of the U.S. since 1898. The reason why it's a colony is because it still can't make decisions, and we don't vote for people who are making decisions for us, like the president, for example, like the Senate, for example, like a whole bunch of people, for example. We have local elections, a governor that doesn't have full power, that does not vote for the president, that cannot go to the Senate and, impose none of that shit. We have a representative that it sits in the House of Representatives but can't vote. He doesn't have a vote. They're just there to listen. And our Constitution, Puerto Rico's Constitution, at the end of the Constitution, it says every single thing above here, if it somehow conflicts with the U.S. Constitution, doesn't work, can't work. Sorry, not gonna happen. So we don't have a real Constitution. It was created in the 50s, post-World War II. There was a lot of conflicts worldwide that wanted to dismantle colonialism. So what did the U.S. do? They changed the name from colonialism to territories, and we've been territorialized since the 50s. Before that, we were a colony, official colony, from 1898 until the 59, 56, where we got the first governor, who eventually became the governor for, I think, 16 years. Then after that, we've had different governors. Right now, we have a Republican governor whose name is Jennifer Gonzalez, not very well liked at all by the President Trump, because she backed him initially in 2016, and then she just went along with all the fake accusations against Trump and all that wave of organized persecution that happened against Donald Trump during the last 4 or 5 years. Everything from censorship, everything from want to put this man in jail, everything from trying to dismantle his businesses, everything from threatening his family, all that shit that we've seen during the last freaking 4 years under the Democratic dictatorship regime, she was part of. So Trump was like, don't even talk to me. Get off me. Get off me. We don't want nothing to do with you, lady. Don't talk to me about no statehood. Don't come here asking for nothing. That's basically where we are. So, but the point is that the elections were stolen, and we need annulment on the elections, because how they were stolen. More than 30,000 people were forced, either by sending absentee ballots to the wrong addresses, extra absentee ballots. This is all documented during the last month and a half, all the stuff, even the last month and a half, the last 3 months, everything from people who are dead are found on the list and weren't taken out and actually voted. Everything from absentee ballots, everything from making it complicated, difficult, shutting down places where people can go and sign up to vote. There was a whole wave of people wanting to vote for this left party, the Juan Dalmau, which alliance thing that was going on, that I always said it was part of, and I'm still saying today, it's all part of the FBI kind of COINTELPRO shit that have been going on. They've been doing it for the last, 70 or 80 years around the world, maybe 100 years around the world. They can't play that shit here. They can't play that in Puerto Rico. They've been playing that in Puerto Rico. But anyway, what we're seeing now is disgusting, because it's the FBI, the people you saw on the video imaging, the video footage. What you saw there was pretty much the FBI accusing the organizations inside the jails, these gangs, to coordinate bringing in the drugs, but also forcing the population to vote in favor of the PNP party. That makes our elections, corrupt, that basically totally dismantles what democracy is supposed to be. But like I said, it happened outside. It also happened. This is the same party, the PNP party, the statehood party, the people who want to be part of the United States of America. So what do we want to do? We need our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. We need our brothers and sisters who are living in the US. We're calling you out, brothers and sisters. You don't have to believe me. Just look for the information and understand what's happening. The people who live in the US that can't vote, that can't call their representatives, we need you to call your senator. We need you to call your representatives and say what? Say that the elections in Puerto Rico, don't believe me, look this up, that the elections in Puerto Rico have been rigged, and the PNP party stole the elections, and that someone needs to intervene. We need the United Nations, we need the US, we need Trump to come in and intervene on this dismantle. If this happened in the US, listen, if this happened in any state or any other territory in the US, people would be appalled. So what's happening? The media is being controlled. People are not hearing this shit. I'm telling you this is happening. This is why I'm saying it in English, because I'm going to say it in Spanish. Been saying it in Spanish, but I'm going to say it more in Spanish, because we need people who can call their senators to listen, you need to intervene. This shit is crazy. What's happening on there? This is a regime. Forget about any regime around the world. We're talking about Puerto Rico. You know, these people have occupied the island, have dismantled democratic system, have weaponized every single one of the agencies and organizations and NGOs. This is going loco. So we need people to intervene. Yeah, tomorrow. Has to happen, immediately. So stolen elections in Puerto Rico. We need your help. We need you to contact your senator, your House of Representatives. We need you to write to Trump. We need you to tell them people, listen, we need to intervene with what's happening in Puerto Rico. All right? And why? All this I just mentioned to you. We're going to be doing a show on it constantly. Remember, we're Make Puerto Rico Great Again. We're Make Puerto Rico Great Again. We're part of a group of people who voted in favor of Trump. Yeah, I myself voted in favor of Trump. And not only voted, I was part of the group of the individuals that were counting votes in the elections in the US. I was working as an inspector, a Republican Party inspector. I don't consider myself Republican, but I'm just saying it so you can understand what's happening. I was in part of. Why? Because I live here and I live there. That's the reason why. So I was part of that, and we are asking our brothers and sisters to help us out. We need people to come out and call their representative, call their senators, write Trump, write the Senate, and tell them that the elections were stolen. And why? All the stuff that I mentioned. Look the stuff up, make sure you know what you're talking about, and tell them we need some sort of intervention. United Nations, the US, Trump, whoever, just to dismantle this craziness that's going on. We still don't have, a month and a half later, we still don't have the numbers. We don't have the numbers, and we know now, because the FBI said that what has happened in Puerto Rico was that this gang pretty much threatened, forced, intimidated people into voting. We're not talking about 5 votes. We're talking about 10,000 plus family members. Because, if you know anything about what happens in the jail, a lot of the times, a lot of the stuff that goes inside the jail expands. It goes beyond it. It's beyond the fences. A lot of the stuff that happens in family members that come in and out, and family people are very much connected to what's going on inside the jail. I'm not saying that it's all bad. What I'm saying is that out of every one of those inmates, the chances are that 2 or 3 other people outside voted in favor of the PNP party. PNP party made a lot of promises. A lot of these corrupt politicians will go in, they wouldn't sign. There was no evidence of this, but the FBI says exactly what I'm telling you. They were accusing these people are going in, negotiating with these organizations inside the jail, that they had, I hope this goes on. Hey, FBI, you need to continue to investigate this. You really need to follow up. Whoever needs to bring it, and we need to clean the house. Just drain the swamp, as Trump said. Drain the pinche Boricua swamp. These people have been criminalizing government. The little democracy that we had on the colonial state no longer becomes, or no longer it's an option to anyone. We're gonna let you go. I wanna make sure that if you want to contribute to our project, you can using these tools. Be right back.
Puedes hacer donaciones por PayPal. Este es un proyecto voluntario pero necesita ayuda económica para continuar. Usa las opciones en pantalla. Estaremos muy agradecidos. Bendiciones. Puedes hacer donaciones por PayPal. Este es un proyecto voluntario pero necesita ayuda económica para continuar. Usa las opciones en pantalla. Estaremos muy agradecidos. Bendiciones.
All right, we're back. I want to close by thanking everyone, making sure that you know that if you're not part of, or if you haven't signed on to our channel, La Rakatacamacondo, this is our channel. We transmit everything that has to do with Puerto Rico in English and Spanish. We have been organizing during the last 5 or 6 months pro-Trump specifically because we understand and we're actually confirming that Trump is the best option for not only the U.S., but Puerto Rico and the whole world. This is something that needed to happen. So outside of that, we also talk about social issues on the island. We also talk about social issues in the U.S. Very sad to see how in New York City, we just saw this lady being burnt. I mean, I don't remember in my lifetime hearing some shit like that in the fucking train, someone being burnt. And I, when I was there, when the Bronx was the Bronx, I never heard some crap like this. Very sad, very, very sad. Trump, you can say whatever you want, but Trump was right on the money with a lot of this stuff. So, additional to that, we want to invite everyone. We're going to be running some tours. Some of you may know that I am the tour guy. I am the tour guy that does tours in the Bronx. We do tours in Old San Juan. We do tours in New York City. We're also going to be doing a special tour coming up the 19th of January, just before the inauguration, Donald J. Trump's inauguration. We're going to be touring 23 monuments in the Washington, D.C. area. Obviously, that all has to depend on how much accessible, but we're going to do a lot of walking that we're going to do will be outside and around these monuments. So we think this is going to be pretty doable, right? And we want to share with you, this is our phone number, 787-222-5590. Please text. Easiest way to do it is texting, or you can text our New York office, 914-370-0562, or you can look up most of the tours and communicate via, do it with enough time so it'll give me, I'll have enough time to follow up on it, So please, I am the tour guy. Again, we're going to be touring in New York City the 19th, and we hope that the next day we're going to be meeting with a group of people, a lot of people, Latinos. Remember, Voto Latino for Trump. Voto Latino for Trump. That's part of the project that we've been running for the last 5 months. And this is the call out to shout out to all these people who voted for Trump, but we want them to be there to represent, familia, represent in this Washington, D.C. coming up on the 19th with us doing the tour. The tour, it's donation, anywhere between 25 and 35. Donation you can give us so we can do these projects and pay the cost and stuff like that. We're not looking to get rich or anything like that. By the way, $35 for a tour of 23, 24, ending up in Chinatown, starting off in Union Square, Union Station in Washington, D.C., and going through everything. You know, it's like a mile or maybe a mile and a half, almost 2 miles of walking with myself as a tour guide. I am a historian, you know that. I've written books and all this. I have other tours running in New York and other tours running in Puerto Rico. We also want to thank Majestic Design. She facilitates a lot of the stuff that we do in Puerto Rico. She helps us by letting us use her facilities. Majestic Design. She makes everything personalized products for businesses and individuals. Anything with cups, cards, web pages, clipboards, and a whole bunch of other stuff. You can find her on Instagram. I want to also thank the person who facilitates our internet in Puerto Rico. I want to thank sometimes, right? A lot of the stuff that we do, we don't have enough money to do on our own. So we ask donations. We ask for donations like we do when we do these walking tours, that being in New York, that being in San Juan, that being in Washington. That's how we run, right? So this person has been helping us for the last few years. And he also installs lighting, solar lighting. So this is the Christmas special, 100 watts, 100 vatios. I think it's volts. $25, 2 for $40. I can tell you that a lot of the whole community where I live in Puerto Rico, one of the places that I live in Puerto Rico, has a lot of these houses, because of the instability of our electrical system, have installed these really functional and excellent lighting, and it's absolutely awesome. 787-941-9673, 787-941-9673. Another thing, Escuela Virtual de los Hermanos Cordero. We have this project. It's a beautiful project. It's been going on for the last 2 years. And what do? Well, we have 10 modules of different it's an educational platform. Let me start off by saying that. And we have 10 different classes using modules that we teach, virtual or mixed modules, that being online or virtual videos that we have designed in Spanish and in English. For example, OBS Studio and Rumble Bootcamp, introduction to cryptocurrencies like blockchain and ledger technology, graphic design, the history. I'm the writer of, the only writer in Puerto Rico of history of rap and reggaeton on the island. There's other books now, absolutely, but this was the first book written. This is actually 98, 2001, this book was written. So we're definitely, the book is for sale, but back to La Escuela Virtual de los Hermanos Cordero. Let me just say real quick, los Hermanos Cordero are these 1800s. They had 1880 something, these self-educated teachers had created schools. Him and his two sisters, Rafael Cordero is the person you see on the picture. They were very much part of the history of education, if not just in Puerto Rico, in the whole Caribbean. They were Black, and they were teaching way before the school system was created. The educational school system in the US, or the private school system that was created under the Spanish occupation. So these people are very, Los Hermanos Cordero are martyrs when it comes to education in Puerto Rico. So our project is Escuela Virtual de los Hermanos Cordero. And you can take different courses for super cheap donations. 10 modules, really well done. I'm a professor, I'm a graphic design professor. So we teach everything from graphic design to OBS Studio and blockchain technology. Like I said, we're gonna be going on tour on the 19th. We hope to see you all there. Please contact us. Some of the images that I used and videos that I used don't belong to me. They're used for educational purposes. We want to appreciate and thank everyone. We will be going, that's the plan. We will be going to the inauguration. Yes, yes, yes. That's part of what we want to do. So we also have a GoFundMe precisely on helping us make it to Washington, D.C. We're going to be there even if we have to walk. That's how we roll. So make sure, if you can, please contribute. And again, the tour guide, you can do it just by participating, or you can send money if you want. I'm going to play that again, that video again, because you can PayPal any contributions that you want to us, or if you're living on the island, ATH Mobile, that will, that's the system that we do. That's like electronic transfer system that you can do. Yes, yes. Thank you very much, and please subscribe.
Puedes hacer donaciones por PayPal. Este es un proyecto voluntario pero necesita ayuda económica para continuar. Usa las opciones en pantalla. Estaremos muy agradecidos. Bendiciones. Puedes hacer donaciones por PayPal. Este es un proyecto voluntario pero necesita ayuda económica para continuar. Usa las opciones en pantalla. Estaremos muy agradecidos. Bendiciones.